A four-phase control loop recruits normal needs: attachment, certainty, relief from decision fatigue, and turns them into dependence. You'll see flavors of communal narcissism, care as status, purity tests, and variable reinforcement dressed as love. Let's map the loop, so you can spot it fast and break it without drama. The four-phase loop: Idealize Enmesh Destabilize Harvest. To see the trap in motion, watch how it moves through rooms. It starts with idealize. This is the finally, someone gets me phase. Answers arrive fast. Claims feel clean. Your language gets mirrored back with surgical precision. Meanwhile, uncertainty drops because certainty is being handed to you prepackaged. The relief is real. That's why this phase lands. But listen for how scope evaporates. Promises get bigger as details get smaller. This will unlock your pattern. Great. Change what, by when measured how. If clear answers don't land on paper, you're in glow, not ground. Now in mesh, the pronouns shift. We, our, container. Your decisions begin to route through the relationship and the method. Outsourcing feels efficient. Decision fatigue dips. Closeness codes as safety. Inputs get narrowed. Don't dilute the field with outsiders. Access increases. More sessions, more shares, more supervision, framed as care. You feel held, which is the point. Test it quietly. Add a second mirror. A peer with no financial tie. A mentor outside the hierarchy. If curiosity is welcomed, integration is the goal. If jealousy or purity frames appear, outside influence confuses the work. Belonging is being leveraged. Then destabilize. Once dependence is in reach, criteria start moving. Standards shift after the fact. Great first pass, now refine, with no endpoint defined. Ordinary friction gets moralized. A late reply becomes evidence of resistance. A boundary gets translated into pathology. Meanwhile, the rules multiply. You're urged to stay close while this stabilizes, yet stabilization never arrives. Your direct contact with reality gets reframed as suspect. The fix here is procedural. Freeze the spec in writing. What's in, what's out, and how success is scored, and deliver to that. Ask for evaluation against the agreed points only. If the target moves, you've verified destabilization. Finally, harvest. This is extraction. Time, money, status, access, all in exchange for ongoing oversight. Love bombing pairs with cold dips, warmth after compliance, coolness after autonomy. That variable schedule wires you to chase the next good session. Requests escalate subtly. More advanced work, more approvals, more community labor. Caps on budget, frequency, or scope trigger urgency or spiritualized concern. Healthy systems can tolerate caps because caps define the partnership. Harvest systems can't. They frame limits as fear, disloyalty, or regression because limits end extraction. You don't need to judge motives to verify the loop. Log behavior. Idealize sounds like this. Big claims, vague timelines, special access. Your test. Ask for a taper plan and exit criteria. Enmesh sounds like this. We do this together. Don't confuse the signal. Your test. Introduce one outside perspective and watch for collaboration versus control. Destabilize sounds like this. Energy shifted, standards change. Your test. Freeze criteria and change tempo. See if urgency softens or spikes. Harvest sounds like this. For your growth, stay close. Here's the next tier. Your test. Set caps and watch whether respect or pressure shows up. Microstory. Lena joins a breathwork group after a breakup. Idealize. The guide echoes her language, assures rapid clearing. Lena asks for structure. What changes by when measured? How? She gets poetry, not parameters. In mesh, the chat swells with we, and outside therapy is discouraged as too cognitive. She adds a therapist anyway. The group leader bristles. Destabilize. When Lena requests fewer sessions during a busy quarter, her field stability is questioned. She's told to increase attendance. Lena freezes criteria. 2 sessions a month, written goals, and logs outcomes. Harvest. She sets a budget cap. Pressure rises. A discount bundle appears for devotion. Lena exits with a boring email. Scope, dates, access removal. And her sleep improves in a week. What nobody tells you is why smart people walk into this. 3 normal needs, attachment, certainty, and relief from decision fatigue, are met at once during Idealize and Enmesh. Without tests, your nervous system will read that cocktail as home. The loop isn't about intelligence, it's about engineering. So you engineer back. Structure replaces speeches. You don't argue linguistics, you install guardrails. Signals you can track without a fight. Promises expand while details thin, idealize. We rises while your independent actions drop, enmesh. Standards shift post hoc to keep you chasing, destabilize. Caps trigger urgency or shame, not planning, harvest. If 3 of 4 are present, assume the loop is operating. Don't announce it. Run experiments. Reduce frequency by 30% for 2 weeks and deliver to spec. Add a 24-hour delay to non-emergencies. Translate jargon into testable steps. Ask for the taper plan in writing. Change one variable at a time so the signal is clean. One more microstory. A founder routes product decisions through a visionary coach. Idealize, grand frameworks, no timelines. Enmesh, our container, daily approvals. Destabilize, every shipped feature requires rework for coherence. Harvest, upsell to an inner circle. The founder caps hours, freezes criteria, and adds a second advisor. The highs flatten, lows shorten, and the value drops below the cost. Exit becomes obvious. Here's the checkpoint. Healthy help ramps out. It strengthens your calibration, tolerates your no, and plans its exit. Control ramps in. It narrows your inputs, punishes boundaries, and moralizes delay. When in doubt, test with caps, outside mirrors, and frozen specs. If respect rises, you've got support. If pressure spikes, you've mapped the loop. The 60-second trap test. Relief versus clarity. Here's the fast filter you can run mid-decision to catch the trap before it catches you. It takes a minute. It's designed to separate relief from clarity, because relief is anxiety's currency. Clarity is conditions. Step 1. Name the threat sentence. Out loud or on paper, one line, no commas. If I say no, they'll abandon me. If I skip this retreat, I'll regress. If I set a boundary, I'll blow everything up. Ugly is fine. The point is to turn fog into an object. Step 2. Classify the signal. Is it specific or vague? Is it about now or the future? Specific now sounds like, don't get in that car, he's drunk. Vague future sounds like, something's off. This path isn't aligned. Specific beats vague. Present safety beats prophecy. Vague future is where avoidance hides. Step 3. Swap to the plausible opposite and watch your body, not your thoughts. If I set a boundary, I'll blow everything up, becomes, if I set a boundary, we'll clarify scope and I'll breathe easier. Sit with it for 5 seconds. Do you feel a relief spike, quick exhale, pressure drop, itch to act now, or a steady, grounded sense that still holds after 2 breaths? Relief spike means your nervous system is chasing an exit. Steady clarity means you've found a condition you can test. Step 4. The safety check. Can this wait 24 hours without real harm? If yes, it's not an emergency. Anxiety compresses time. Intuition tolerates a pause. The delay lets arousal fall so signal can emerge. Tomorrow, if your sentence survives in specific terms, proceed. If it evaporates, it was a state, not a truth. Let's make it concrete. You're tempted to cancel a hard conversation and call it energetic misalignment. Threat sentence. If I talk, it'll explode. Classification, vague future. Swap. If I talk with one clear ask, we'll get data. Body scan, jaw, breath, shoulders. Relief spike at cancel. Steadier feel at a single ask. Safety check. It can wait 24 hours. Tomorrow, you send one line. I need agenda clarity by noon. Can we agree on that? That's clarity with a condition, not purity with a parachute. Another. You feel pulled toward an emergency session after a wobbly week. Threat. If I don't book now, I'll spiral. Classification, vague future. Swap. If I sleep and write a 2-point plan, I'll stabilize. Body shows a fizzy urge at booking. A comma drop at the plan. Safety check. It can wait. You sleep, run CDC briefly, and book next week if needed. The wobble was arousal, not destiny. A relational example. If I say no to the group weekend, I'll be iced out. Vague future. Swap. If I say no kindly and propose a Tuesday dinner, the bond holds. Notice the spike at yes to avoid discomfort, and the steadier feel at a specific alternate. Wait a day. If you still want Tuesday, send it. If the only sentence left is off, that was avoidance. 2 guardrails keep this honest. Don't wordsmith the threat. Speed beats polish. Don't turn the swap into fantasy. Keep it plausible. Add 1 extra safeguard for hot days. No decisions under sleep debt, caffeine spikes, or fresh conflict. When this test points to clarity, you'll hear conditions you can verify. Yes, if scope is written. No, and here's the sustainable alternative. When it points to relief, you'll hear exits that demand immediacy and offer no details. Your move then isn't to argue. It's to wait 24 hours and let your body cool. Then act on what stays specific. The CDC core, COM data context. Before you decide anything big or small, run CDC. COM data context. In that order. Without COM, you'll cherry-pick evidence. Without data, you'll mistake vibes for facts. Without context, you'll misread normal friction as fate. COM first. 60 seconds is enough. Unclench your jaw. Drop your shoulders down and back. Take 4 slow breaths with longer exhales. Inhale through your nose for 4. Exhale through pursed lips for 6. Then label your state in one plain sentence. I'm activated and predicting rejection. Naming shifts you from actor to observer. You're not erasing heat. You're creating enough room to choose. Now data. 6 bullets. 3 for, 3 against. Facts, not interpretations. They responded within 24 hours on the last 4 asks is data. They respect me is a story. Budget is $1,200 this month is data. We can make it work is a wish. Translate spiritual or therapeutic jargon into operations. Energy was off becomes they changed scope after approval. Ego becomes they dismissed my boundary. If your bullet doesn't survive a calendar, receipt, or quote test, downshift it to a feeling line and keep moving. Common mistake here. Writing evidence after you've secretly decided. To avoid that, force symmetry. 3 for, 3 against before you weigh them. If you only have 2 against, pause and find the third. If you can't, that's information. Your concern may be thinner than it feels. Also include a best counter to your current leaning. If you're leaning yes, add the strongest no. If you're leaning no, add the strongest yes. You're not both sidesing, you're stress testing. Context last. 2 questions widen the lens. What are the base rates in situations like this? And over what time horizon does this matter? Base rates normalize friction. First collaborations feel stiff. Step-up roles have fuzzy scope for a month. Early boundaries feel awkward. If your no dissolves once base rates arrive, you are arguing with humanness. Time horizon keeps urgency honest. Will this matter in 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years? If your 3-week self is frantic and your 3-year self is steady, you're inside a tunnel, not a crisis. Let's run CDC in the wild. You're debating a reconciliation conversation you've postponed 3 times. COM, breath, jaw, shoulders, state label. I'm anxious and predicting explosion. Data for. They initiated a check-in last week. They repaired after the March conflict. They've kept 2 agreements for a month. Data against. They minimized impact in January. Scheduling slipped twice in April. We don't have a shared repair protocol. Context. Base rates. First repair cycles are clunky. Time horizon. Relationship health measured over quarters, not hours. Output. Yes if. You'll propose a 30-minute call with a 2-item agenda and a simple repair structure. 1 impact, 1 action, 1 check-in date. A work example. You're considering upgrading to an advanced container. COM first. Label. I'm keyed up and craving certainty. Data for. 2 specific skills taught. 3 client outcomes match your goals. The schedule fits Tuesdays. Data against. No written taper plan. Upsell pressure after boundaries. Exit terms are vague. Context. Base rates. Programs over promise. Support that strengthens independence tapers. Time horizon. Cost spreads over 6 months. Habit changes take longer than a weekend. Output. No because. You'll request a written scope with what's in, what's out, an explicit taper and exit. If that arrives, reevaluate. If not, your answer stands. Relational integrity check. You're tempted to label a withdrawal, not aligned. COM. Data for. You've been sleep deprived. You skipped 2 meals. Last week's tough feedback landed after 9 p.m. data against. The collaboration has delivered on time for cycles. Feedback was specific. You agreed to a trial month. Context. Base rates. Fatigue warps reads. Early iterations sting. Output. Delay 24 hours. Sleep. Eat. Rerun CDC. If the signal persists as a specific condition. Yes if we cut scope to A and B. Act. If it evaporates, it was arousal. 2. Upgrades make CDC stick. Externalize it. Keep a tiny template in your notes. COM, state, data, 3 for, 3 against. Context, base rates, time horizon, decision. Yes if / no because. When decisions live on paper, you're harder to hustle. And time box it. 90 seconds for low stakes, 6 to 10 minutes for high. If you exceed that, you're probably rehearsing fear. What does the output sound like? Yes, if scope is in writing by Friday and approvals are weekly. No, because there's no taper plan. I'm available for a fixed fee handoff. Clean. Short. Actionable. No sermons. Remember the order. Com clears noise. Data grounds you. Context widens you. Skip com, and you'll stack evidence along your adrenaline. Skip data, and you'll mistake intensity for accuracy. Skip context, and you'll pathologize the universal. CDC doesn't make hard choices easy. It makes them honest. And honesty is what breaks the loop.